J.P. Shadrick with Mike Dempsey, and proud of the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor after a Jaguars victory. It's 4 in a row now for the Jags to improve to a record of 8-8. 5 of the last 6. 6 of the last 8 have gone to the Jaguars, and they are now a win or a tie away from the AFC South title. It comes down to Week 18 next week here at the Bank.
Love it. Dominant first-half performance and kind of on cruise control after that opening drive of the third quarter. Travis Etienne got the second half off. Had a big day, though, and the Jags just kind of – this is a business trip, JP. Nothing special, nothing spectacular. The defense was spectacular in the first half, and then it was just so-so in the second half in terms of yardage allowed, but only allowing 3 points today, snapping the long streak against the Texans and putting themselves right where they want to be, in control in the AFC South.
Fred Taylor with us on the phone line now. The Jags handled business and settled the old score against the Texans, Fred. 9 in a row. The Texans had won against the Jags. No more. It's one the other way now. What's up?
Yeah, man. Hey, how's it going, guys? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Fred.
Foremost. Yeah, man. It's the new year, man. We're seeing a new style Jag out here, man. It's good that they were able to get rid of that streak that the Texans had over our heads for the longest there. I think we're seeing a shift in this division. You know, right before our eyes, man. We're seeing a young team that's hungry and confident and that believes in each other, and they're laying it all out. And this performance today, you know, in the midst of throughout this week trying to figure out, do you play the guys, you know, how much time, this and that. You look at a leader on the defensive side, and Josh Allen, he played the entire ball game. You know, and I think, you know, and I don't know, I'm assuming, but I would think someone like a Josh said, hey, I want my snaps. I need, you know, to get myself together. And he didn't come off that field, man. So that's just a big testament to these guys wanting to play, not being fearful, not thinking about being injured or anything. And they went out there and they blew this team out like they should have done.
That's a mindset of a winning team, right, Fred? I mean, last time out they went to Detroit, didn't have their head on straight, and the Lions, though a better football team, and they've proven that over the last little while, they embarrassed them up in Detroit. I think that might have woken this team up, so they're not going to let anything slip moving forward here.
Of course. There's nothing slipping through the cracks, man. I think this team is fine-tuned. They're plugging and playing. You know, they had some injuries. A few guys went down, a few key backups, and the one Smoot, you know, went out for the season. But these guys are, you know, plugging and playing. They've gotten some other guys back in the nick of time to, you know, so there's not much fall off on the rotation, at least from the defensive front. The offensive line did well. You know, Travis Etienne, boy, he was lightning out there today. I mean, he was downhill, one cut, and explosive through the hole. And he probably as fast as I've ever seen him look was on that 62-yarder, man. Those wheels was churning. So I like where this team is. I love that Trevor's really getting the ball out. And it starts there, top down, you know. The confidence is amazing coming from Trevor. He's attempting all throws. The quickness in which he gets rid of the ball. You know, overall, man, they look very good, and I think they're ready for next week's matchup.
That is Fred Taylor. More with him coming up in a moment. Let's go back to Houston now. Josh Allen had 6 tackles, a sack, 3 quarterback hits, and a forced fumble, and was playing at the end of the game, and he's standing by with Bucky Brooks.
Josh, we've come a long way. Long way since the beginning of the season where we used to sit in the locker room and talk about those close losses and learning those lessons. And so now you're sitting at 8-8 with a chance to win the division. What changed?
Man, I think it was we had that 3-game stretch with 15 days, and I think just picking up that sense of urgency that we can't dwell on the last game. We got to keep moving forward. We got to keep moving forward. But we got to be attention to detail each week, and I think that right there set it in motion. And I really believe, man, when Shaq Quarterman hit Derrick Henry and he popped that ball out, I think that right there was a tone setter that we can do anything if we put our mind to it.
Yeah, so in looking at you guys, particularly on defense, it's hard sometimes to play in this game. Stadium's half empty, not a lot of energy. This team is a bad team. But how are you guys able to stay focused, locked in, and take care of the business?
Man, we owe these guys, man. We owe them. I think just looking back on the first time we played them guys I'm not making excuses. Those guys was not in 100% shape to go out there and play in that physical game. But we owed them, and we wanted to show them this new team that we got. We got the same team, different attitude, different mindset, and they got a good dose of it.
You know, one of the things that's interesting, when I come in at halftime, hearing you guys talk about the things that you need to do, starting and finishing, taking care of business, focusing on one play at a time. How are you going to take all of those ingredients and put them into play to help you win a division next week?
I mean, I think we just got to keep staying the course. I don't think we need to do anything fancy. We played this team a couple weeks ago. You know, they have a lot of changes. They had a lot of injuries. So, you know, looking at them, see what they played Thursday, they're still a good team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is not a game that we can go in here and be like, oh, this is an automatic win. No, this is a high-stake game. Both teams are really talented, and we have to go out here and play some football. And the most dominant team going to win this game. And we got to get back in shape. Well, we got to get back in condition. We got to get back right. I know guys still banged up from this game. We got to come back 100% and really be locked in this week. And that's how we handle business.
Last thing, because we all grow up dreaming of playing in big games when we're NFL players. And so next Sunday night, you may have an opportunity to play in a big game. How are you going to be able to keep all your emotions in check and really lock in and just play the game and not worry about all the circumstances around it?
It's the next game. Again, this game, we could have took that approach for next week and know, you know, all the chips was for next week, but we came out here and we wanted to win this game. We owed these guys. Heck, we owe those guys next week. We, like, from the history, my first day in Jacksonville as a Jacksonville Jaguar, the first thing I was told, we don't like Tennessee. So that's where that's at. You know what I'm saying? They don't like us. You know, it's about to be a hard-fought game. We're excited for it. We're excited about this matchup. This is a great opportunity for us, again, to show the world what the Jacksonville Jaguars are about, man. We have a great opportunity to go out here and perform at a high-stake game in front of so many people that's going to be tuning in to see what the Jacksonville Jaguars are about. And we're ready to get aboard the show.
Well, look, man, best of luck to you. Enjoy this week. Can't wait to see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
That's Josh Allen. Yeah, I love that stuff from Josh, and a guy who's been here for a little bit now and understands what that means. But the highest stakes game he's been in with the Jaguars by far.
Yeah, look, I love the fact that you've got guys connecting with the history of the franchise, right? Last week you had Trevor Lawrence wearing the old school Jaguar logo in the postgame. Josh Allen talking about we owe Tennessee. I mean, he wasn't here for the really bitter times,
That's
obviously,
right. Sure.
but he understands, you know. And Fred, look, if this team got up the way they did for Houston today, there's no question they're going to be up for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, that doesn't guarantee victory, but it's not going to be because they aren't absolutely all cylinders ready to go.
Correct, 1,000% right there, Mike. You're spot on. And I like the question that Bucky posed, you know, because those can be let down games, but, you know, they didn't. They could have looked way past the Texans and, you know, just thought about Tennessee the entire game, but those guys went out there, you know, as Josh said, and they were laser focused, and you know, attention to detail was on point. Their attitude and the mindset he spoke about, you know, all of that stuff being locked in. You know, I love to hear those words, especially coming from one of the team leaders, man. And all of that is trickle down effect.
Okay.
What do you think this win today, the manner, the business-like, methodical way in which it was achieved, says about the culture you're trying to build here, taking business week to week and not resting starters?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's something that we've started. It's something that we're still trying to continue to learn and grow from. And you know, obviously, it was a unique situation, right? In a game that, yeah, sure, it may not have meant a whole lot, but I don't know if I've been in a situation where you'd had a game like this heading into a game that for everything, you know. But I tell you, it's a credit to the guys in the locker room, the coaches, just to stay focused. That was our sort of our, you know, what am I thinking of here? It was our, you know, yeah, our mantra for the week was to stay locked in and stay focused and ready to go. And you know, the guys, that's what I told them after the locker room, the way they handled this week. Very proud of them for that, and that's all part of our winning culture, you know. And there's a time and a place, obviously, to rest guys. I just didn't think this was the time or the place to do that.
As a follow-up, obviously one of the biggest regular season games in history coming out here on Sunday. How do you view it, and do you feel like the guys will handle the pressure that's going to come with this?
This is what you play for. This is what you coach for. This is what you want. For your football team, you want to be in the conversation, and you want to be playing for, for us, the AFC South, and we're playing a good football team. And listen, we haven't done anything yet. They're still the champs until something happens. But I felt like and really feel like our guys are again in a good place. They're a good place mentally, physically, and I don't really have to worry too much about them getting excited for this one. It's more about just locking in on your job and focusing in on your task. This week, starting tomorrow.
Does it matter when you play? Do you have strong feelings about like Saturday where you'd have shorter rest versus?
Yeah, I would love to play Sunday. Obviously, to have these next couple of days. But look, we'll play. We'll play when they ask us or tell us to play, and our guys will be ready to go. But if I could pick, I'd pick Sunday.
How did ETN play today, and what did you see on his big 62-yard touchdown run?
On that run, I saw great blocking not only by the line but by Christian and Zay, I believe, and they did an outstanding job today in the run game, and obviously gave him the ability to spring free and get in the end zone. But that's what Travis can do. We can get him in space and on the perimeter or between the tackles some. He's capable of doing that, and that was good to see. It's been a while since we've got him going like that.
How big was the first series getting ahead in this game, not having pressure on the scoreboard?
It's big. Defense did a great job. Turnover on downs, and then the offense responding. We went a little tempo there to start the game, and did a nice job getting in the end zone. That's exactly how we wanted to start the football game, and it does. Any game is great when you can obviously get the lead early, and then our guys did a nice job keeping it and doing some good things.
Turnovers help every defense. Obviously, seems like there's a really marked difference between this group when they don't get one and then when they are able to get one.
Those are proven stats, right? Takeaways and giveaways, things like that. And anytime you can be in the plus category, your chances of winning go up. It just means more possessions for your offense. And defensively did a nice job. Of course, we turned the ball over too, so that's we got to look at that. And Trevor and CJ both had picks today, and we just got to take a look at that. But the defense, when you can score on defense too, like they did, just helps the cause. And I thought the defense did an outstanding job today. Really just holding them to the 3 points, but played well.
The season that Christian Kirk has had, he went over 1,000 yards today, and just describe what he's meant to you guys.
He's meant a lot. He's a veteran player who, obviously, you guys know we targeted in free agency, and he's been nothing but a professional here in Jacksonville, and he works extremely hard every single day out there, and there's a reason why he has the numbers that he does, and it's because of his work ethic, and he's been great for the room, been great for our team, and I'm happy for him and obviously his family for this milestone.
It seemed like today the medical tent never went up at all. Have you ever been involved in a game? It didn't seem like maybe we missed something, but was there any even remote injury today that got your attention?
No, not really. We had a couple of bumps and bruises in the game. We were fortunate, and then in the third quarter we were able to pull some guys and get them out of the football game. And again, it's just a credit to the players. But no, I don't think I've ever been in a game where that tent, knock on wood, we don't want it to go up much, but when it doesn't go up, that's a good thing.
How do you think Trevor played? Maybe a couple missed throws, but overall it seemed.
Yeah, overall he did some good things. Led the football team. Obviously the one pick, him and Zay kind of missed on that, and it's something we'll take a look at and fix. But I thought he did some good things. He was high with some throws early, but settled in. I thought the run game was good, but overall, and again, listen, it's a tough week. I understand it, from the standpoint of, being mentally prepared and everything, just the way the nature of the game is, but I thought he really handled himself well and led the team well.
How much does it help you, game planning, execution-wise, when you have a guy like Evan Ingram, a tight end that really is a massive factor in the pass game.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good for your offense, and it's just another weapon that you can scheme for. And he's been. I think he set a record himself. I think today, for tight ends, and just just been a blessing to our team and a great leader. He's another one. He's a hard worker. I mean, the guys, those guys, Evan, Christian. Those guys are what you want and how you can build a team but having a guy like Evan really gives you some flexibility on offense with your game planning.
You guys have snapped so many streaks this season. How rewarding is it?
I can't keep count of them.
Yeah, snap another one where the Texans had won 9 straight.
That, and I think back-to-back road games and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy.
Nashville, yeah.
Just check them off.
Right.
I mean, it's great for the organization. It's great for the team. Obviously you set out each season, and hopefully you win more than you lose. But it's just a credit to the staff. It's a credit to the players. Even Mr. Khan, giving me the opportunity to coach his team and just the direction that we're headed. Obviously we still have a game left, but we've conquered a few firsts in a while, and it's a credit to those guys.
How excited are you to see the home environment, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, and see the support you're going to get from the fans?
Yeah, it should be electric. It should be. I mean, we're playing for the AFC South, we need all our fans that can get there, and it's going to be a great atmosphere, and our guys will feed off of that energy, and it'll be fun. It'll be a fun one to coach and play in. All right, thanks, guys.
And across the board, believing in each other. That's your mindset, and that's where you want to be.
All right, Doug Peterson just left the podium in Houston. He's heading down the hallway to catch up with Bucky Brooks as we speak. We'll hear from him coming up in just a moment. 31-3 the final. The Jaguars improved to a record of 8-8. They've now won 4 in a row. And 5 of the last 6 of the last 8. They're in first place in the AFC South. It comes down to the Tennessee game next week, a win or a tie, and the Jaguars are in the postseason. And Doug Peterson is with Bucky Brooks.
Coach, big win. It was loud. Coach, big win today. You guys kind of took care of business. How hard was it to keep your team focused and locked in on the Houston Texans game?
That was kind of the mantra for the week. We talked a lot about focus, right? Locking in, just paying attention to your job and doing your assignments and all of that. And I was proud of the guys for handling that. You could see kind of that maybe a little lack there in the game today, a little bit of some of that mental focus. But I thought for the most part, the way our guys handled the week and just reiterating the point to them, and making sure they stay focused and locked in. It's a great, we back-to-back wins. We haven't beat Houston, in a few years, and Christian did good today as far as some of his milestones. Evan, I believe, did the same thing, and it's just a great team win today.
In halftime, listening to you guys talk about the maturity of, hey, we got to start it, we got to finish it, we got to dominate the game the right way. I would say from the outside looking in, I've seen the growth in this team. What have you seen from the team?
Just that, they're starting to speak and say and do the right things. And, a few months ago, or at least the start of the season, it probably wasn't that way. And obviously winning helps. It gives a little belief and confidence in the locker room. And, the guys are just they're believing in themselves. They're believing in the organization, believing in the team, believing in each other. But that's the journey. That's the process that you go on during the course of the season. And you obviously each week you keep teaching, you keep coaching, you keep improving and getting better in practice. And that's what we've seen. And that's been, again, it's been a steady progression for 17 weeks. We got a nice one next weekend.
Yeah, no, you do have a nice one next weekend. I thought your messaging this week was really interesting when people were asking about a meaningless game and those things. But you talked about how when you're teaching the team how to win, every game matters. And so when you're looking at the team, how can you tell when they're really buying into what it is that you're saying?
Like today, just a great example today, the way they came out, defense stopped a turnover on downs. Offense gets the ball, go right down, put it in the end zone. We started fast, we finished faster. And And so for me, that's a sign of a team that's buying in. I went to some of the players this week and says, hey, I'm thinking about maybe not playing you. No, coach, I want to play. I want to be out there with my teammates. So that's a sign right there that the players really have bought in, and they've bought into one another, and that's encouraging for me as a head coach to keep building on.
So there's going to be a lot of conversation about next week's game against the Titans. First time the Jaguars have played a big game, playing for the division. How do you keep the main thing without it being too big for a young team?
You got to just stay in the moment. You got to stay in whatever day it is, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it is, and you just got to go about your process the way you've done it for 17 weeks. And you don't have to change who you are. Just be you. That's what I told the guys in the locker room after the game. Just be you this week. Prepare the same way. If you got to do extra, you do extra in the weight room or conditioning or whatever it might be. But listen, this team, I want them to feel the pressure a little bit. I want them to feel the big game atmosphere, because again, that's how you learn. You look at teams like Buffalo and Kansas City, Cincinnati, those top AFC teams New England who have been there, done that. There's no panic with those teams, right? They show up and go about their business. And so that's what we're teaching this group here in Jacksonville. And I see that even with the young group, I really don't think it matters to them that much. I just think they get lost in the process and they just go play and have fun.
Well, look, man, it's going to be a lot of fun next weekend. We can't wait to see it. Good luck to you. Enjoy this win, but can't wait to see you get ready for next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Bucky. Cool.
That's head coach Doug Peterson with Bucky Brooks in Houston, and that was the locker room report presented by Baptist Health and the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're back with more. Fred Taylor rejoining us in just a moment. Jaguars win at 31-3 over the Texans. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans that cover over 6,000.
Yes. All right, I'll look the background away. No, we're good. We'll send the whole transcript. Okay. So all you
Yeah, it was a big win for us. Obviously, with a lot of the distractions kind of around this week and knowing what's in store now for this next week, I thought we handled our business today, and that was the plan, to come in here, start fast, and control the game, and I thought we did that. Offensively, a lot of stuff to clean up. Didn't play our cleanest ball today, but the defense played great, and special teams was awesome, so kind of made up for it. Then we had some huge plays on offense, so did enough to win. Obviously, it's not our cleanest game we've had, but at this point in the year, it's just about winning, and so obviously we're happy with that, and to be able to win that way, it shows the growth of this team. When you don't necessarily play your best, especially offensively, you can still dominate a game like that. So it's cool to see our team continue to come together, and we all know what's kind of at hand this week. So we're excited for the challenge and ready to get back to work for that.
Trevor, how much does it help you personally, having played in such huge games at Clemson, getting ready for a game like this that's for the AFC South title?
I think all guys have played in games like this all the different guys on our team, different places, maybe here, years past, whatever it is. So the biggest thing is you can't treat it any different than any other game. You can't try to do more or less, or you just have to trust your process and what got us here. And I think we've gotten in a pretty good groove of just the way we prepare, the way we get ready for these games. You see it's been paying off for us the past month and a half. So we just got to trust that. You can't try to do a bunch of things new just because you're in a position where it's a must-win, to get in. For us, it's the same as any other game. That's kind of been our mindset the past 2 months. So for us, we just got to continue to do what we've been doing, prepare the same way, have a great week of prep, and put ourselves in position to win on Sunday or whenever the game's going to be.
What did you see on Etienne's touchdown run?
Just him running. No, I saw actually, Zay had a great block. They had a safety filled the lane, and Zay got just enough of him, got his shoulder, and kind of knocked him out of the hole. And then I don't think Travis had to even cut. He broke that one tackle on the second level from the safety, and he was gone. So, we had that play up pretty good. And Zay and Christian specifically did a really good job on the perimeter, making that thing go.
Just treat it as the next game, but isn't there a little part of you that goes, holy cow, this is for it. This is our lives for this season. And how do you not let that creep in or become an issue?
You look at the situation we put ourselves in, that's kind of been, honestly, the feeling every week for us is just because if we didn't win what today was 4 in a row, if we didn't win these games, we wouldn't be in a position to do this next week. So for us, that pressure or whatever you want to call it's been there, and we've responded great to it. And now that this moment, we talked a lot about a few weeks ago, this season's going to come down to week 18. We knew we had to take care of business these prior weeks, but we had a feeling we're going to put ourselves in position to where week 18 is going to decide our playoff berth and where we head after that. And so we've been expecting this, and we're ready for it. And I think, like I said, you can't treat it. It's a big game because you're right. It is for our season and to earn the right to keep playing. But it's still a game. It's still played the same way. Still the same length of time. All that stuff. It's the same game. So you can't freak out and make it bigger than it is. You got to stick to what you know and your process.
Someone already asked it, but we ask you every week about snapping another streak with this franchise this year. This was 9 in a row. The Texans. You got that going.
It feels good. There's a lot of guys in that locker room that have been a part of that. I've been a part of 3 of them. And it feels good to get this one. Obviously, just it's hard to win in this league, so you appreciate all of them, especially a division game where you haven't beat this team in a while. It feels really good, especially to do it at their place. It's awesome, but this one's going to be short-lived for us. We know we got a big week in front of us, but it was great to get the win today.
Knowing the kind of defense they are, scrappy, the way they play, how big was getting a touchdown at the first drive?
Their defense has played really, really great all year. Just really disciplined, well coached. They do what they do and they do it well, and they're physical too. So we knew starting fast would be big for us. Something that we weren't able to do when we played them earlier in the season. So to be able to jump out of that lead earlier than our defense, just be able to pin their ears back and get after them really the whole game, I think put us in a good position. And then, like I talked about though before, just not playing our best on offense. We had a couple opportunities to add on to that even earlier, and we stalled out and had some miscommunication, some stuff like that early on that we need to clean up. But other than that, and I thought that the first drive of the third quarter was really good for all of us, just to be clean, to go all the way down the field, to score there, and to finish kind of the right way. Obviously, a lot of the guys still played after that, but for me, I wanted to really have a clean drive. I didn't think we executed very clean in the first half for the majority of the time.
How much pride do you take in Christian getting 1,000 yards receiving?
It's awesome. I told him kind of after the game or middle of the game when I realized, shoot, he just hit 1,000. Congrats, man. He's earned it. He's worked super hard, and obviously that's a big part of our offense is 1,000 yards. It's a lot of production from him, and just to see him have success and just the amount of work he's put in and the work that we've put in together, and to see how it's paid off and just the connection, the chemistry that we have, it's been really cool, and just happy for him. So just keep building on it. Awesome. Thank you all. Yep.
LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org. Hey Jaguars fans, Are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been a leader in direct mail for over a decade. Using the latest technology, Kessler can now reach your ideal audience even more effectively. Choose from between a couple of response channels, from direct mail to landing pages designed to engage and initiate responses with potential customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC and PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jaguars. They have everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. Jags 31, Texans 3, J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. It all comes down to Week 18 next week when the Jaguars host the Tennessee Titans. Limited tickets available, and they're going to go fast. Don't know the day or time yet. We did see that on Red Zone they said earlier that they expect to have the schedule later today.
Right.
So that makes sense. If you have a Saturday game, teams are playing today. You got to give them time to be ready and travel and do all that. So we'll see what happens with that. If anything breaks, which it shouldn't while we're on the air, probably later this evening. If anything changes, we'll certainly let you know. Time now for the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game, and you guessed it, Tyson Campbell in for his first career score.
Empty backfield, drop in and throws Davis Mills. Throws it out to the left side. That ball came out. That ball has come out there. Tyson Campbell picks it up. He's going to run it into the end zone for the touchdown. The ball popped out. Campbell picked it up, and he scores for Jacksonville.
First career touchdown for Tyson Campbell, a 12-yard return. That was the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Well, Jaguars get it done. Strong defensive effort today. Only 3 points allowed. Jags offense running the ball effectively today as well. Fred Taylor back with us now, and Travis Etienne putting together a day at the office today, Fred. Over 100 yards on the ground. Another solid effort through the air. They kind of held him off to the side later in the game and let him rest up and get ready for next week. But overall in the game today, 108 on the ground on 9 carries, a 62-yarder. Finally broke it through there, and 3 catches for 32. And that's the performance that I think he and a lot of folks have been waiting on from Travis Etienne.
Without a doubt, JP. Listen, it's all fun and games being able to leave the game early and get rest in preparation for the big game. So it's all fun and games until you're retired. And you go, man, I could have got those yards and these touchdowns and all that. Well, that's a whole other thing, right? But, he looked amazing today, man. That first early on in the game, he had that 27-yard run, hopping out of leg tackle, just real explosive downhill, as I mentioned earlier. Then that 62-yarder showed great vision, in that great burst, running through those potential arm tackles. Just very explosive, man. Then he go over 1,000 yards for the season too, right?
He was at 1,000 right on the nose going in. He was at 1,000 to start the game.
Okay, to start the game. So he, but his play, man, he certainly picked it up. And again, I still would like to see better ball security from Travis, and I will be the first to tell him that on any occasion. And that scares me at times, but he's aware. I see that he's aware. He has two hands on it, and he's running downhill. He's running hard. He's running effective. And I hope they continue to be able to find that balance between the run game and the pass game. And they'll be that much more of a threat if they continue to hold up that way.
Well, and Fred, it shows you how important he is to what they've got going on here, that he was really the first guy that they took out of the game right after the half. I think he was available if necessary, like in an emergency basis. But Jermichael Hasty's played pretty well backing him up this year. He's not as explosive as Travis Etienne, but he's had, some long runs himself. What do you like about Hasty's game?
He's the type of player that he plays to his ability. Not a big guy, but he runs with good power because he runs low. He has good center of gravity. He has very good balance. He can get out on the outside and make defenders miss. And I think that's a good he's a good player, a role player in what they need to have him do. And even looking at Snoop there, just hard, downhill, really one cut and go. So I think they have a good mix of young running backs.
All right, we'll take a timeout, and we'll return with the ViStar final stats in this one, a Jaguars victory, their 8th of the season for a .500 record, 8-8 for the Jags going into Week 18, next week's game against the Tennessee Titans. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
The holidays are almost over, so don't miss the final days of the Holiday Your Way sales event going on now at your local Ford dealer. It's your last chance to get the best deals of the year on Ford trucks and SUVs. Light up your New Year's celebration in a Ford F-150 with available Pro Power onboard, or roll into the new year in a Ford Explorer SUV with available four-wheel drive. Don't miss the final days of the Holiday Your Way sales event. Inventory is arriving daily, but hurry. The Holiday Your Way sales event ends January 3rd. Not all models, trims, or features may be available or may be subject to change.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Jags win at 31-3 over the Texans. J.P. Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor. And let's take a look at the ViStar final stats. Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better. And we'll start with the team stats. Total yardage in favor of the Jaguars, 337 to 277. Rushing yardage, 169 to 84 in favor of the Jaguars. Texans outpassed the Jags 193 to 168. 7 penalties, 45 yards on the Texans, 2 for 30 on the Jags. 2 turnovers for the Jags. They lost the battle today in turnovers. And Houston with 1. The time of possession in favor of Houston by 30 seconds. 30 minutes, 30 seconds for the game. Jags 4 of 12 on third down. Houston 6 of 17. And the Jaguars get it done today. Strong defensive performance and a good rushing game for the Jaguars today, over almost 170 yards, and all that combined, they're resting starters in the second half.
Yeah, kind of workmanlike for them. Trevor Lawrence went 17 to 21. He had the interception, and he missed Kirk pretty badly on one, but other than that, 17 out of 19, 152 yards. He did have that pick we just mentioned, a quarterback rating of only 77 today. C.J. Beathard got his most extensive action of the season, 5 out of 8 for 29 yards. He also threw a pick. Davis Mills threw for 202. On the other side, no touchdown passes or interceptions for either Mills or Jeff Driscoll, who tallied 9 passing yards himself. Travis Etienne, 9 carries for 108, 12 yards a pop, and the entire Jaguar backfield of running backs all scored today. Etienne got a touchdown. Jermichael Hasty, 10 carries for 33 yards, including a touchdown. Snoop Connor had his first touchdown as well, 5 for 17. Davis Mills led the way. Anytime the other quarterback is not named like Jalen Hurts or Justin Fields, and he leads the other team in rushing, you're usually pretty happy about that. 33 yards on the ground. Dario Gunbowale managed 21. Marvin Jones, for the second time this year, was the leading receiver against the Houston Texans. Had a 100-yard game the first time today, 6 for 61. Etienne caught 3 for 32. Zay Jones 3 for 24 as well. Brandon Cooks on the other side caught 4 passes for 39 yards. We know Tyson Campbell had the scoop and score, that coming off the sack fumble forced by Josh Allen. Another sack from Caleb on Chase on later in the game. Foye Oluokun, no surprise, leading the way with 9 total tackles for the Jags.
All right, Fred, we mentioned Etienne, but he and Hasty and Connor each had a rushing touchdown in the game and 169 yards total for the Jaguars on the ground today. That's a good team group effort today.
Oh, yeah, overall. And I think Hasty's touchdown came on 3rd and 5 right there.
You're right.
So it's big shout out to the offensive coaching staff. Being able to dial up some runs there. They saw something that the Texans had been giving up, and they took full advantage of it. I just also want to add to you guys' stats here. The defense played superb on 4th downs, man. The Texans were in pretty much we don't care what happens out here today. We have a bad record. We can play our way into potentially getting the first pick, so we're just going to call it and go. So they just went for it on 4th down like nobody cared, and the defense stepped up, and they stopped them 4 times in a row on 4th down. So I think that was a big, thing for them, not to put any bad stuff on film that the Titans can potentially take advantage of, but to still go out there and just play their hearts out and come away with these results.
Let's come back in a moment. The Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting right around the corner. Jags win it 31-3 over the Texans. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
How far should we go? When it comes to the health of children, we will stop at nothing, focusing on prevention as much as cures. Working with community leaders, educators, policymakers to make every child's world a place for them to thrive. Going to the nth degree and beyond. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine. Join the journey at nemours.org/beyond.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags 31, Texans 3. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Jaguars now 8-8, and it all comes down to a winner-take-all battle in Week 18. The Jaguars and the Titans next week at TIAA Bank Field. The date and time to be determined, Saturday or Sunday. The announcement may be later tonight. We'll wait to find out with you, of course. Win or a tie for the Jaguars, and they would be the AFC South champions. Now time for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, and Fred Taylor gets a vote and a half to break any deadlocks. And I'm going to guess today it is a unanimous decision. Fred, you want to start us?
Of course, man. I'm going to go with my old running back room and give it to Travis Etienne. I mean, he averaged 12 yards a whop, the long 62-yard, showed off the Jets, the burners. He looked great getting downhill, and that one TD to seal it up for those guys. And you throw in a few catches there, 3 targets, 3 catches, 32 yards. Just showing his all-around versatility. And for that, he's my selection for player of the game.
Same for me. I mean, pretty easy. Only 12 touches today, but was explosive as can be. And you kind of felt like Travis Etienne could give you anything you needed today. And he only played one half of football. 10.7 yards on his receptions to go with those 12 yards and the 62-yard scamper on the ground with the touchdown. Easy call right here.
I'll make it unanimous with my vote as well. Travis Etienne, 140 total yards in the game. 9 carries, 108 on the ground, 1 touchdown, 3 catches, 32 yards through the air, and he led the way in the Jaguars' victory. He is the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game. And if you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capabilities and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Baptist Health Injury Report when we return. Jags win at 31-3 over the Texans, and it's Jaguars post-game on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Hi, I'm Chef Justin Timnery, Florida's culinary ambassador. If you've enjoyed preparing fresh from Florida recipes, then you're going to love the Fresh from Florida Club. As a member, you'll be able to search and save delicious recipes, create custom menus, and ask me your cooking questions. Each month, you'll also get a list of what's in season, so you can make your family the freshest meals possible. It's free and easy to sign up. And best of all, you'll be supporting Florida's farmers, ranchers, and fishermen. Join the club at followfreshfromflorida.com today.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the MyGate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Jaguars over the Texans 31-3. They snapped a 9-game skid against Houston. The Jaguars have now won 4 in a row overall and are 8-8 for the season. 5 of the last 6 have gone the Jaguars' way. And time now for the Baptist Health Injury Report. Baptist Health changing healthcare for good. Nothing really notable in today's game. That's good news. Andrew Wingard at one point came up and made a hard tackle and then kind of held shoulder pad area. Who knows? That it didn't look much more after that, which is good news. He's been on the report a little bit as of late. A few other guys who were on the report played in the game today, so that was good news. Of course, Trevor Lawrence is on the report and has been since the toe injury. He's been limited in practice, was limited this week, questionable for the game, obviously playing through it. Wingard the same way with a shoulder issue. Trayvon Walker coming back with an ankle issue, played today. Ross Matisic playing through a back ailment and got that done today. Brandon Sheriff with the abdomen and ankle issue. The vet, you can't get him out of the lineup. He wants to play. He wants to stay in there for his team. And Foley Fatukasi with an ankle injury as well. But hey, they all were in there today for the Jaguars, Fred. So good news that there's no news on the injury front today.
Yeah, JP, that's always the best news. Earlier in the game, I saw Roy Robertson Harris. You know, it seems that he took a ding, but he kind of shook it off and was in there the very next play. But, yeah, that's always a good thing, especially at this point in the season with a game as big as the game that they're about to play next week. You want to have all those guys as close to 100% as you can.
Now,
and available.
Absolutely, yeah, up there, available, because it's hard to be 100% this time of year. It's just Week 18 coming up. Now, there was a play early in the game that when Trevor Lawrence was lead blocking. Was that? Did I remember that right? That would have not been ideal.
No.
Yeah.
No. Don't call that.
Yeah, don't call that.
Don't call that unless we really need it next week either.
Yeah, next week it's on the line.
Save that for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's on the line next week. Okay, yeah, get in there. But we'll see. Hey, let's come back in a moment. Final thoughts next week for all the marbles in the AFC South. Today, though, the Jaguars get a win over the Houston Texans, 31-3. And this is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville,
The holidays are almost over, so don't miss the final days of the Holiday Your Way sales event going on now at your local Ford dealer. It's your last chance to get the best deals of the year on Ford trucks and SUVs. Light up your New Year's celebration in a Ford F-150 with available Pro Power onboard, or roll into the new year in a Ford Explorer SUV with available four-wheel drive. Don't miss the final days of the Holiday Your Way sales event. Inventory is arriving daily, but hurry. The Holiday Your Way sales event ends January 3rd. Not all models, trims, or features may be available or may be subject to change.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans that cover over 6,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Don't miss any Jaguars action this season with a car breakdown. Call the MVPs at CarShield for their best coverage ever. Call 800-471-1223. 800-471-1223. Go Jags!
Welcome back. Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags over the Texans 31-3. And here we go. Next week, Week 18, the Tennessee Titans come to town to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. The winner will take the AFC South Championship for the 2022 season. If it's a tie, the Jaguars would be the champions of the division. And I don't know, there weren't a lot of people thinking that after October. But the Jaguars found their sea legs, got right. The Titans have faltered. The Jaguars have overtaken them. It's come down to the final day of the regular season, Fred, and you can't ask for much more than that.
Of course not. The divisional matchup, an opportunity to knock out, a team that we like to consider a rival. They don't really think that much of us. But that's okay. They got to show up and play on Sunday. And what I'm looking forward to, J.P., is, being able to have a better start, in this next matchup. I think up there, Tennessee went up 7-0, and then we came back and matched that. And they went up 14-7. And then from there, we just kind of held them to go on a win 36-22. But Travis Etienne, I like to see him have a bigger, better day overall. If Evan Ingram can match his output from that same matchup, it should be a no-brainer that we should win. But it'd be an interesting day. Trevor had his best day as a pro, I think, that game, and we need to see that duplicated again. But all in all, these guys got to show up and just lay it all out Sunday, man. I'm looking forward to it. I will be in the building.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you, Fred. And there's been so much talk about Trevor Lawrence's season turning around and the offense turning around after the game in London. It was kind of cool to hear Josh Allen talk about that hit by Shaq Quarterman on Derrick Henry that he said basically showed the defense what they were capable of on that day. So, if you're looking for the defensive turning point, at least Josh Allen thinks that was it.
That's all you need, Mike. Anything like that just a spark. Just a little spark, man, somebody to do something to light you up. And the guys would always tell me back in the day, man, just make a guy miss. Just run somebody over. Anything to fire us up, and it just trickled down throughout the whole entire team. And if Josh identifies that as the play, I'm glad he was able to, because they've been playing great the last month and a half, and now they just got to finish this thing out strong, get that win Sunday, and then all of these young guys who thought the game was fast, it only gets faster in the playoffs. So that in itself should be exciting for them. But hopefully they can show up Sunday and finish this one off in good fashion.
The Jaguars today scored first in a game for the first time since Week 8 in London. So they've had to come back in all these wins, and they got it done today by scoring first, scoring often, and holding Houston to only a field goal, 31-3. Fred, enjoy the week. Should be a fun one, gearing up for this one at the bank this coming Sunday. We'll keep an ear out for the day and time, but we'll see you next weekend.
Hey, man, always looking forward to it. Really quick, JP, I just went and looked at the passing leader stat. It's a beautiful thing seeing Trevor in that top 10, man, and those interceptions, the touchdown ratio. I'm just excited for the young buck, man. I'm excited for everybody. I'll be there right next to y'all, man, getting it in, and we're going to celebrate after we get that win.
Let's hope.
Sounds like a plan to me. That's Fred Taylor. We'll talk to you next week, man.
All right, guys.
Pride of the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor joining us. We're back in a moment on our flagship station in Jacksonville, 1010XL. The Scoreboard Show is coming up next, and we'll get your phone calls. 355-NFL1, the number 355-6351. Jaguars get it done with their fourth consecutive win. They snapped a 9-game skid against Houston with a win today, 31-3. The Jags are now 8-8, first place in the AFC South. A win or a tie next week against the Titans puts the Jaguars as the AFC South champions and into the postseason. Final score again, 31-3, Jaguars over the Texans on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars are future-focused. Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, waiting to hear from you. Here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and J.P. Shadrick.
Scoreboard. Welcome in.
Big way.
Yeah, 31-3. Jaguars over the Texans today in Week 17. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and your calls, 355-NFL1, the number 355-6351. We'll be here for about an hour.
Yeah, why not? Let's hang out and celebrate the fact that the Jags, after opening up 2-6, are 500 again on the season. You know,
strong
for the first time after a game since Week 4 when they fell to Philadelphia and dropped to 2-2. It is JP. It's 6-2 in their last 8. With they're going to be favored at home against the Tennessee team they've already beaten here. That's beat up. I think on paper right now they're just the better football team. Neutral field anywhere else. So be amazing if they could triple their win total from last year, get that winning record, have an AFC South banner to celebrate, and then who knows, get at least one home playoff game and enjoy the ride from there.
Yeah, the ride's pretty darn fun right now. Just wait until this week.
It's great. There's no question about it. We were just looking there at all these scenarios on as to where the Jags may play next week, and we know it's going to be for the division title. But the Jags are very much alive in this wild card picture right now. And Seattle's leading the Jets 17-6 right now. We need Seattle to hang on and beat the Jets. If Pittsburgh were to lose to Baltimore tonight, they only need to lose one of their last 2. But if they lost to Baltimore tonight, all you need are 2 games to go your way, and you can lose and still be in the playoffs. So those games would be Jets-Miami and Buffalo-New England. And so we were talking about, is there a possibility now with the wild card becoming more mathematically realistic? Could they just stack all those games in the same time period at the same kickoff, which is like what they like to do when there are a lot of teams playing that have similar things and different outcomes, all intermixed that matter to them. They could certainly go and put them on Sunday Night Football as a win the division, and loser goes home in the case of Tennessee. But there are other ones out there. It could be Green Bay versus Detroit for the final playoff spot in the NFC. Primetime Aaron Rodgers. It could be Cincinnati-Baltimore for the AFC North crown, although loser would not be eliminated from playoff consideration. So there are other games that might appeal to the networks. But, to me, I don't care. Line them up. Play them. I'm kind of with Jeff Lageman when he talked about, if they play Saturday, it's to their disadvantage because Tennessee played last Thursday, and they rested guys knowing that they were putting all their chips in the center of the table for Week 18, so Jeffrey Simmons, Derrick Henry get that much more rest. And, so let's play Sunday anytime, line them up. Heck, I'll play Saturday, but I'd prefer anytime on Sunday. Hosting the Titans next week, I'm good with it.
Saturday, Sunday, they're coming either way, so you got to be geared up and ready for that one. And I know Jacksonville will be geared up and ready for that game. At last check, only limited tickets remain for the Week 18 game against Tennessee, and those could be gone or going fast as we speak. And if you don't have one by now, it's time's running short, and should be a fantastic scene here at the bank this Sunday for Week 18. Hey, we'll come back. Your phone calls reacting to this Jaguars win over the Texans. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, the number. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG, too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and your calls 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. And games in the AFC, there's the Niners are leading the Raiders 14-10, 2 minutes left, second quarter. 4.5 left in the second. The Seahawks lead the Jets 17-6. And in the NFC, Packers over the Vikings 14-3. The Rams and the Chargers playing in L.A. 14-3. Chargers with the lead in that one with 8:20 to go until halftime.
Yep, Chargers already in the postseason. Jets trying to keep them, on the outside looking in right now. That's the one we'll be watching this afternoon, 17-6. Seattle up right now with about 4.5 remaining in the first half. All right, 355-NFL-1. Let's find out what you think about how the Jaguars performed today with a look ahead to next week. If you'd like, Cheyenne joining us to lead things off from Rapid City, South Dakota. Hello, Cheyenne.
Hey, guys. Great to be with you. I mean, the team is firing on all cylinders. I can't believe it. I mean, this streak is just amazing, and I will be there next week all the way from South Dakota.
Nice.
So I can't wait for them to beat the Titans next week. So let's go.
Hey, what is the current temperature in Rapid City?
Right now, it's probably like 35.
Oh, wow. That's balmy.
Yeah.
compared to last week, I'd say.
For here it is.
Yeah, and it should be nice this week as well. So look forward to the trip. Thanks for thanks for the call tonight, by the way. And I think people will be coming from all over for this one, Mike. If you haven't been in a while, or whatever's been going on, and you haven't been able to make it out to see this Jags team, well, everything's on the line, and this will be a tough ticket this week.
If you are coming from further than South Dakota, I'd love to hear about that. 355 NFL 1. Curtis is on the west side. That's not nearly as far. Curtis, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, buddy.
Let's go, Duval!
Duval, right back at you.
Just want to say, guys, I really didn't think we'd be in this position several weeks back, so I'm excited about that. I'm more excited about next season. I mean, I'm not, it's not over this season. We'll see what happens. We'll get into the postseason and see what kind of run they'll have. I believe we have a good chance, and I'm just excited for the team. I really feel like it's a different team. Really solid. I'm excited about Trevor and just a really good, fast-moving offense. And Doug, I'm really appreciating Doug. So just looking forward to it, man. I really feel like we have a different team.
Appreciate the call and the Doug point, and they made it on the broadcast today as well. I mean, that's the biggest acquisition they might have made this entire offseason was bringing in a guy like Doug Peterson with his temperament, his personality, his experience with matters around the quarterback and a team like this. And he's got them believing when, at the bye week, they were not playing that great of football. They were starting to turn it a little bit, but the belief was always there. The message was always the same, and that goes straight to the head coach and the culture.
And the beauty of having a young quarterback and an offensive-minded head coach is nobody else can steal him from you, right? If you've got a defensive head coach with a hot offensive coordinator, every season you're looking over your shoulder who's coming to get this guy. This is the ground floor of Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. And, it got off to a rocky start record-wise, but, those games, 5 of those 6 were one-score losses. I think actually maybe all 6 of the first one-score losses until the Kansas City game. I might be off on that. It might have been just the 5, and Kansas City was the 6th loss. But regardless, they were competitive throughout the season, and now they're turning competitiveness into victories. And, I'm not going to put a ceiling on what they can do this year, JP. I mean, got to obviously take care of business next week, but somebody's coming in here and going to have a really tough time if that goes down that way.
Yeah, once you're in that tournament, I mean, it is all bets off if you're playing good football and can figure out a way to win some games. And I just got to get in it first. That's the one trick. They still got some work left to do next week.
No doubt.
Let's come back in a moment. A timeout. Your calls when we return. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Your pet means the world to you, so Pet Paradise created a slice of paradise just for them. Pet Paradise is your complete pet health care destination with resort-style day camp, overnight boarding, professional grooming, and compassionate veterinary care from New Day, all located under one roof. Pet Paradise has over 50 locations to serve pet fanatics like you nationwide. Book today at petparadise.com, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi, I'm Chef Justin Timnary, Florida's culinary ambassador. If you've enjoyed preparing fresh from Florida recipes, then you're going to love the Fresh from Florida Club. As a member, you'll be able to search and save delicious recipes, create custom menus, and ask me your cooking questions. Each month, you'll also get a list of what's in season, so you can make your family the freshest meals possible. It's free and easy to sign up. And best of all, you'll be supporting Florida's farmers, ranchers, and fishermen. Join the club at followfreshfromflorida.com today.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. J.P. Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. The Scoreboard Show continues after a Jaguars win over the Texans 31-3. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. What you got, Mike?
All right, I've got Darren, who went to the game in Houston from Jacksonville, checking in now in postgame. Darren, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. You know, it was great to represent Duval. I'm not going to say how many fans were there, but it seemed to be more Jag fans than there were Houston fans for a long time of the game, I can say that. And the consensus was that they wanted the first-round pick, and so they weren't disappointed. The fans weren't. They honestly weren't. I don't think they wanted to get spanked that bad. They wanted it to be more competitive. But, you know, it was great to see the Jaguars go out there and dominate a game and a team that they were supposed to, and on the road. And, you know, a lot of people said it didn't mean anything. But you know what? The players showed up today. The Jags showed up today, and they come out there, and they said, you know what? We're here. This is our division. We're going to take it. This is the first step of the two-part series, which is next week coming, and we will be there loud and proud, and we represented today. Duval!
All right, Darren. Look, I think by the time people realize what the scenarios were, I don't think most people thought this was a meaningless game, right? Like, I think if the Jags had no chance at the wild card, I know Doug Peterson says every game matters, every game means something. Well, let's find out in the future if the Jags have the first overall seed locked up and what they do in Week 18. We'll see how much that game matters. But this game did matter because it does continue to keep you alive. It gives you different paths. And look, nobody wants to talk about what happens if they lose. But what happens if they lose? You still want to have a shot.
Right.
So this game did matter to the Jags, and the big thing is, JP, they played great, but they stayed healthy coming out of it. That's those are the two top things.
And what happens if they tie, right? I mean, that next
go.
week, tie, it's Jaguars go. So because you won today, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Darren, thank you. Let's go to Chris on the south side. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hi, gentlemen. How are you? A comment and then a question. Me about was it about the fourth week of the year when Ben Barch went out and Tyler Shatley moved into the starting lineup? As an offensive lineman, we now applaud in the line of scrimmage. They played much better and just looked like a different team. I'm not saying that he's the only reason, of course, but it just seems to me Tyler Shatley, being an 8-year veteran from Clemson, he's just played brilliantly. You never hear him call his name on a penalty like you do all the other offensive linemen. I'd like y'all's thoughts on Tyler Shatley's emergence. And secondly, with what y'all said earlier, with Miami losing today, if New England, Miami, and ourselves all three lose next Sunday, do we get the wild card bid, or is that up on points and division records and all of that. I'll hang up and listen to your answers on both questions.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
You
Bye-bye.
got it.
Thanks for the call.
It's first on the Shatley thing. I thought Barch was playing fine.
Yeah, it was week 5 he had the knee injury, by
Right,
the
and
way.
keep in mind, Barch was in there when they dominated Indy and the Chargers, so, it wasn't like all of a sudden they turned it on. In fact, when Shatley got in there, they didn't win for a while. It wasn't his fault. They were losing close games. But look, Shatley has done a nice job. This is what he is. He's a valuable guy that can basically play any position on the offensive line, and that is why he is valuable. But if he were, thought around the league as a full-time starter, I think he would have more interest. He wouldn't settle for, the deals. I think he's happy here in Jacksonville. I'm happy we have him because he's been kind of a plug-and-play option. Now, here's the thing. If Seattle needs to beat the Jets this afternoon, otherwise this is moot. But if they do, Pittsburgh still has to lose one of the last two. So let's say they lose to Baltimore tonight. In that scenario, next week, if the Bills beat the Patriots and the Jets beat the Dolphins, the Jags could still lose and make it into the playoffs. Now, you don't want it to go that way. In that scenario, by the way, even with the Patriots losing to Buffalo next week, they're the heavy favorites if everything else goes that way and the Jags win. Tennessee does not have a wild card path. They have to win to get in, win the division. Tie knocks them out. Loss knocks them out completely out of the playoffs. So let's finish off Tennessee and let's have the Jags be the reason why they get sent home. And I agree with Fred Taylor. That rivalry is probably a lot more one-sided because of what they did to us, but be about time for the new generation to start feeling that sting a little bit right now.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a younger group that were either really, really young when all that happened in the 90s or weren't around when all that happened in the 90s.
Right.
So,
I mean, Trevor Lawrence was he a gleam in the eye at that point? He's 23 now, right? So you're talking about probably, I'm guessing he's a few months old.
He was born in October 99.
There you go.
So,
a few months old. So, he was born into regular season glory and postseason pain, and he will be the one to lead him out of it right there, hopefully.
So.
Richard on the north side at 355 NFL1. Richard, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, buddy.
How you doing, fellas? Happy New Year.
You too.
Happy New Year.
Hey, what a great win for us. What a great win for the city. We're rolling. I just wanted to get your opinion on where old Dougie P stands for Coach of the Year. Going from worst to potentially first is incredible.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I mean, there will be a few teams that have
Nick Sirianni's going to get strong consideration.
Sure he will.
I mean, Philadelphia's only lost 2 games all year, but I think Doug should be in the conversation for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, considering what happened, the offseason, everything that went on here in the last year, and he comes in and, the way they were playing mid-season to rally like they have, and if they cap it off with a division title, I mean, he would have a strong of an argument as almost anybody else in the NFL, and I don't see why he wouldn't be in that conversation.
Right. If you're talking about teams that exceed expectations, he might be the front runner in that category. Right. A lot of people had Philadelphia winning the NFC East, right, but maybe not going 14-2 along the way. Or I guess they dropped one to New Orleans today, so 13-3. So they're leaking a little bit of oil down the stretch here without Jalen Hurts, obviously. But he's in the conversation. I think that's fantastic. I'm sure he would tell you he has his eyes on bigger prizes, but would love to see him recognized for the job he's done this year. But to make that really viable, I think you got to win next week, get that winning record, turn things around, end the season 7-2, win the division, and host a playoff game. So, and all that is very, very. All it takes is one win now for all that to happen.
One win left to get that done. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351, a timeout, and more of your calls. After a Jaguars win over the Houston Texans 31-3, this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments, or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com. Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues, to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. Jags over the Texans 31-3. Jaguars are now 8-8. It all comes down in the AFC South to Week 18. The Tennessee Titans come to town to face the Jaguars. The winner takes the AFC South title. If it's a tie, the Jaguars would move on as the division champion. And it's here at the bank. The day and time still to be announced by the league. They wait for all Week 18 game days and times until maybe later tonight. There is, of course, a big Monday Night Football game this week, but they might go ahead, sounds like, put out the schedule. Just from what we saw, Red Zone said that earlier. They're expecting it later this evening. So check social media, and you'll get the latest on the day and time for the Jaguars and the Titans next week. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351.
Right. I do think the Ravens outcome is more important to the scheduling than the Cincinnati outcome. Is probably why they might release that tonight, depending on what the Ravens do against Pittsburgh. All right, back to the lines we go, and you're welcome to get on board, talk about your plans for next week if you'd like, but your reaction to today's game, welcome. Mark at the Beaches is not with us right here on the Scoreboard Show.
I'll take that as a no, thanks.
Yeah, all right. He's like, I got to talk about something? Not going to do it. I do think I mean, it's going to be a ridiculous atmosphere, and I would imagine the last handful of tickets will be scooped up by Jaguar fans
easy.
greedily this week. I don't know how anxious Titan fans are going to want to be in the stadium. I've seen a lot of social media posturing already this week, JP. Even before the Dallas game, with Titans fans go, oh, we'd just rather lose out and get the best draft pick possible. Well, like, okay, sure. So you'd rather – I mean, the difference between the draft pick you're going to get is just a handful of spots anyway. So you'd rather not be the division champs and go to the postseason. Way to set yourself up for failure just in case things don't go your way.
They were 7-3, man. They've lost 6 straight games. They've got an injury report filled to the brim. I mean, they don't have a GM. I mean, it's dire straits right now in Tennessee, and they are limping down the stretch to the end of the season. So take advantage.
Got to. I mean, look, Joshua Dobbs is, I got to believe, the likely starting quarterback for the Titans next week based on what he did. He threw for almost as many yards in his one start as Malik Willis has in his 3 starts this year. Malik Willis became the first quarterback since Nathan Peterman, going back to 2017, I think, to throw for fewer than 100 yards in each of his first 3 starts. Dobbs at least moved the ball against Dallas. They were a lot more competitive with him there. Didn't have Treylon Burks the first time they played the Jags. Did not have Jeffrey Simmons and Derrick Henry this week. They're going to come out. Those players, the fans can say what they want because they're trying to protect their psyches. But those players are going to be giving you everything you want. I mean, the Jags, I think, are going to be fully prepared for it. But this is not a Tennessee team that's going to come in here and just go, oh, we're limping into it. We're going to lie down. I mean, look, no matter what the losing streak is, count next week. The playoffs start then. Right here in Jacksonville.
It's a playoff game, absolutely.
Yeah, so
it's the AFC South Championship game.
Those guys care about bragging rights. Those guys want to continue. They want playoff bonuses. They want all those things that go along with it. So you're going to get, 60 minutes of hell out of the Tennessee Titans. But, that doesn't mean that the Jaguars' 60 minutes is not going to be significantly better than theirs. I don't care if it's significantly better as long as it's better. 1 point, or like we said, a tie gets you the division title.
Right.
I mean, wouldn't that be the irony of ironies?
But it's something, you laugh at that, oh, it's such a long shot. But if you have the ball with 4 minutes to go in overtime from your own 15 and you can run a 4-minute offense and try to get out of there.
Look, last year it came down to Vegas and the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, the final game of the season. If they tied, they both got in. That game was tied with a minute to go, and the Raiders were around midfield showing no urgency because they were in regardless.
That's right.
Right? And the Chargers also got in with a tie, and the Chargers started calling timeouts, and the Raiders were like, oh, you want to play that game?
Yeah,
all right, so now we're going to try to win the game, and they did.
Hit the deep ball.
The point being, you wouldn't think it would come down to it, that, oh, yeah, sure, if they tie. And it almost it was within a minute of happening last year. So it's nice to have that in your column. It's nice to have all the little extra things you can have going for you. I think the biggest thing, JP, they've got going for them is that quarterback position.
Oh, that, yeah.
That guy, and Evan Ingram, quiet today, it's almost kind of good. You know what I mean? It's tough to maintain the hot streak he was on. Let him have the down week when they don't need it because he torched the Tennessee Titans. And you got to wonder what this offensive coaching staff is going to try to put together here, as you got to figure Tennessee's going to expect that that's going to be the approach in the passing game. Hey, let's exploit Evan Ingram. He crushed us the last time. Well, we'll see if the Jags, have some wrinkles off of that, and that this is a coaching staff that is not unaccustomed to having wrinkles in the game plan.
Well, Ingram in that game, 15 targets, 11 catches, 162, and 2 touchdowns. Zay Jones was targeted 12 times for 8 catches and 77 yards and a touchdown of his own. So those two really led the way. Christian Kirk had 5 for 45 in the game. Agnew had 3. I mean, they spread the wealth a little bit in that game. But the Ingram and Zay Jones were really the top guys in that matchup against Tennessee, at least in terms of targets. They combined for 27 targets in that game out of 42 passes for Lawrence that day.
They obviously had a game plan. They knew what they wanted to attack, and they were able to execute it. So all comes down to this, man.
And, that's the good thing about this offense. There's plenty of good things about this offense, but one of them is that there are so many options that you can scheme up something, and each guy has a day, and maybe the next week it's the next player up, and they're all cool with it. That's part of it. A lot of teams around the league, this sharing of the wealth idea is not really well received sometimes, but these guys are into it, man. They love it. They the idea that a different receiving option each week can have a huge game, and you've got, like last week, I mean, on the Evan Ingram swing pass to the left, you've got Kirk and Zay Jones lead blocking out in front for a big gainer down the left sideline on Thursday Night Football. I mean, it's the extra stuff on top of just the numbers from these guys.
Yeah, JaMychal Hasty catching 6 passes today, rushing for a touchdown, right? I mean, he's making contributions. I don't expect Snoop Connor to be a big part of the game plan at all, but Jamal Agnew can mix in there as kind of a wild card piece. So, look, they've got – their guys are healthy. Knock on wood, they stay that way throughout the course of the week. And Trevor Lawrence is, for the most part, distributing the ball well. I think he had 2 bad passes today. The one that got picked and the one he sailed on Christian Kirk and completed 17 of his other 19 attempts today. The big thing today was don't lose the football game, right, as Trevor Lawrence. This team was moving the ball, moving it on the ground with Travis Etienne. Trevor didn't need to throw any touchdowns. He didn't throw any touchdowns. It didn't matter. Every one of the running backs got into the end zone. This was, as we talked about, kind of a business-like game. Defense scores. You get a field goal to tack it on. The Texans get their cosmetic 3 to avoid the shutout and really didn't threaten. Other than the first drive, they had a nice little drive going, but Fred was right. Talking with Fred Taylor earlier in the postgame, 0 for 4 on 4th down. Jags stepped up big in that department. I think they might have been like 6 for 21 combined 3rd and 4th down. So Jags needed to be better on 3rd down themselves today. They were not particularly good.
4-12 today.
Right. So,
down.
I mean, they're look, we talk about it all the time. Coaches love when you win and you can nitpick the film anyway, right? So there's plenty of things that they can correct and not, rest on their laurels. This wasn't like 48-0 where, Trevor threw for 350 and everybody's just doing whatever they want. This is just kind of a workman-like game, which is all you needed. And it just goes to show you they didn't, other than ETN, I don't think they did anything particularly special today. Anytime you get a defensive touchdown, it's a bonus, but you won by 28. Yeah, it was won so easily. This team is in the Texans' desperate need of a quarterback. The Colts are in desperate need of a quarterback. Maybe Tannehill's back next year, but if he's not, is Malik Willis the answer? Who knows? Too soon to know, perhaps, but the early returns aren't great. I mean, you have such an edge right now in the division at that position, which is obviously the most important position out there. And I don't think Doug Peterson's taking a backseat to anybody in the coaching department.
No, and that's not just in the division, by the way. He
can
hang with most anybody.
Right. His resume, I mean, not many guys toting around a Lombardi trophy metaphorically here, but he is.
Let's come back. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. We'll take it to the top of the hour on the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
If the last couple years have taught us anything, it's to show the ones we love how much we care. That's why Pet Paradise calls you by name from the moment you arrive. Why our pack leaders know each and every friend you like to play with out on the turf. And that you like some snuggles before you fall asleep. The more we see and get to know you, the more you'll see how much you mean to us. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on-airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final 15 minutes or less. We'll take you to the top of the hour here on the Scoreboard Show. 31-3, Jaguars over the Texans. J.P. Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. And the final few phone calls of the evening after the Jaguars get their fourth straight win.
All right, let's get to it. Jim next up here on the south side looking back at this Jaguar victory. Jim, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey, yeah, I'm here with my wife. We're just so excited, ecstatic. It's just hard to believe that they have almost like a complete team, and it's just you seem even more excited than 99 and really 2017. I mean, the fact that Trevor's on the team and playing so well, and Peterson just is dialed in with him, just has made this such an exciting season. Almost makes you want to forget the last awful 10 years. So we just can't, we can't wait to go to the playoffs, and just having Trevor, having a quarterback that makes a difference. It's, he's really could be one of the elites, and it's so much easier to, when you have a great quarterback, to, fill in the pieces around him and have a great team, hopefully for the next 10 years. And we're just want to know, we're so excited for the Ravens. I'm sorry, for the Titans next week, and hopefully the Ravens after that. So, Duval, let's go.
Duval right back at you.
Thanks for the call. That changes the whole dynamic, the quarterback thing. Of course, 2017, Blake got hot in December.
Right.
But, in the long run wasn't sustainable.
Right.
And then the defense was just over the top, incredible, taking the ball away, doing what they do.
And, of course, 99, you had the top defense in the league.
Yeah.
You had all these offensive skill guys. I mean, they were, in the regular season, the best team in football, and then they just couldn't finish the job against Tennessee, couldn't get over that hump, and then salary cap hit them, and some injuries and age, and it all kind of fell apart. The mix of personalities is what was the combustible thing in 17. This is a team that, JP, they're not as talented at a lot of the positions as they were in 99 right now. But the quarterback, like Jim is alluding to, you're looking out over the next decade. Mark Brunell, how many more years? Oh, we got some more good years with Mark Brunell. This is the ground floor of a young guy who much was expected of, and now he's starting to fulfill that potential right in front of our eyes with a great coaching staff built around him. He can turn this into a destination market in free agency, right? Look, no state income tax. Got a winner, got an up-and-comer. If you're a wide receiver, any kind of offensive skill guy, why would you not want to play with Trevor Lawrence for the next length of whatever your contract is going to be?
I was going to say, it might be booked up for a little bit with the free agents they just brought in last year coming back. So, if they can re-sign Evan Ingram, I'm sure that he would want the same thing. That's a big part,
right? Why wouldn't you want to be back here if you're Evan Ingram if the money is comparable? So
we'll see.
I would imagine they want him back in a big way. We'll see if they're. Hey, that's a problem for later on down the road. You know what I mean? Like
one week at a time.
What happened to all the people tweeting at me? Can we do draft talk now? No, we tell you no for a reason. Not until they're eliminated. We're not going to have any draft talk around these parts. So it paid off. Let's go to Mac on the north side next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Mac.
Is Bookie Brooks in the house with you?
No, he's not.
Not tonight.
Oh, okay. I will be at that game. I'm excited. And Mike knows I've been a long-time Jaguar fan since 1995, and I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job. I will be at that game. I don't care what this job says. In fact, I'm on the job right now, and I listen to the game on well, I'm going to tell on myself. Y'all don't get on me. I listen to the XM on Houston's radio.
Okay.
XM. They listen to the game because they were beating them, and it was good luck, and I didn't want to change it.
Hey, whatever works, man.
Well, I mean, if you're on the job right now and calling in, you may not have a choice in the matter whether you're
Yeah. But I will be at that game and will not be on my job come next Sunday. Go Jaguars!
All right.
Well, he's all in.
Mac has thrown down like, if I have to quit, I'm going to quit. Like, I hope you ask for the day off, and I hope they give it to you. But if you have to quit, you got to do what you got to do. Right? That's up to you, Mac.
Hey, whatever you can do to help the ball club, I guess. Right.
Whatever, and to have an earpiece in your ear if that's what it takes. You can listen to the Tennessee hometown broadcast if that helps. I don't know. Look, I get it. I'm superstitious too sometimes. All right, one more call on the day here or on the afternoon. Ethan in St. Johns County is going to get the last word here on the Scoreboard Show. What's going on, Ethan?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I just wanted to call and talk about the unselfishness of our receivers. Has been awesome this year. I've seen a clip of Baker Mayfield going to apologize to Jarvis Landry and OBJ about throwing the ball to other receivers in there. And to see that Christian Kirk and Marvin Jones are going out to make blocks and are happy for everybody else to share the wealth has been amazing.
There's no doubt. We just mentioned that a little bit earlier, too. And I don't think you can underestimate that. Just the feeling, and there's no drama. There's no issues, really,
No
right,
us
on
versus
this team.
them. No offense versus defense. No, this guy isn't getting it done. No, I don't like this guy. No fights in training camp, because you're stealing my spotlight. No shoving a guy back to the sideline when he gets announced as the starter, and I'll run out there instead.
No, this guy gets paid, so I'm going to start chirping. None of that.
Right, no. Everyone seems to be look, and winning does that. But JP, credit to the coaching staff and the type of players they went after. Like we had Sean Jefferson on Jaguars today. It was Christian Kirk's wide receivers coach in Arizona prior to coming here. He goes, look, you're getting not only a fantastic guy, you're going to get a player. You're going to get a guy who gives you everything you want in all the leadership departments, right? And he is going to be a guy that gives you everything. He's never going to be a me guy. You haven't heard a word out of him in that regard. He's a 1,000-yard receiver for this football team. And, you look, and we've talked about this in recent weeks, when you look at now where the salary structure has gone at the wide receiver position, nobody calling Christian Kirk overpaid these days. So that's just one example of that type of guy. Look at the kind of character Zay Jones has exhibited, and Evan Ingram and Foye Oluokun, not to leave out these defensive players.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of those guys, too.
A bunch of these guys.
Yeah.
And,
Rashawn Jenkins this year has been fantastic.
You have to have good football players. You can't just have good guys. But you can have both. And they really made that, I think, a focus to make sure that strengthened, the kind of the core of the locker room and the heartbeat of this football team.
Foley Fatukasi, one of those guys. They really, in free agency this year, and we talked about that a little bit in 16 and 17 when they were building that 2017 team. Malik Jackson came in free agency in 16, right? He was here for a year and then was the second year with us in 2017. Of course, Calais Campbell, incredible addition. A.J. Boye had a good run here. Tayshaun Gibson on the back end at safety in that team. Their collection of free agents, most of those guys hit, and for the most part were really good, sound locker room guys too. This one might take the cake. If all these guys continue on this trend right now with the free agency class.
In the future. I'm just saying. 1 year impact.
But I'm just saying right now, 1 year impact. But the personality in the locker room with the production they're getting together, and to have free agents to all do that in the same year, it's extremely rare. That is hard to find one or two guys that do all that. This group really collectively has done that in free agency this year.
They have, but hard to ignore Calais Campbell and A.J. Boye, the seasons they had.
I'm not taking it away from them at all. I mean, those were first-team All-Pro seasons.
Right.
I mean, you know, this is a different level.
The on-field impact from those guys made that, I think, the best one-year free agent class in Jaguar team history.
Right. Now, if this team makes the run, then that could change the whole idea of what it means to be that. So, in terms of accolades, individual accolades, I'm with you.
I'm not putting any ceiling on these guys at all. Let's just let it play out. Let's just win next week and worry about all the rest of it, you know, takes a backseat to winning that division title next week. Every single bit of focus is on beating Tennessee, and whatever comes after that comes after that. But you end, if nothing else, if you beat Tennessee, you've had a hell of a successful season, even if you don't win a playoff game. And you'd be hosting one.
Absolutely.
For only, the fifth time in franchise history.
So let's get to that. This coming week, the Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans, of course. And you can expect, I would expect at least the Titans to empty the bag on offense, different formations, plays, 2 quarterbacks, whatever it takes to snap their losing skid. I mean, they're on a run right now that would be an all-timer in Tennessee in terms of really to end a season. Yeah, I mean, they were right there at the top, and they were 4 games ahead of the Jaguars in the standings at one point, and now they're 1 back, and it comes down to the last week of the season. So Mike Vrabel and the Titans are desperate, and desperate teams in these moments do desperate things. So you got to be ready for some of that stuff.
Right. I do think, though, you're going to get it pretty straight off the bat. I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Derrick Henry and see if it works as well as it did early in that football game the last time. Keep in mind, he almost went for 100 in the first quarter of that game. And then game script started to change. Jags started locking down. The big hit by Shaq Quarterman forcing that fumble helped turn that game around as well. So I think you'll see a reliance on that. And we'll see. But you don't think the Jags will have a few things up their sleeve that they haven't shown? The author of the Philly special might have a little Duval delight coming your way next week.
Is that what you're naming it already?
It depends on what they do.
Depends on what
if
it is.
Works, I might call it the delight.
Better work. By the way, Packers over the Vikings 27-3, a 55-yard field goal at the final gun at halftime. Hit the crossbar and went in from Mason Crosby. And the Packers are now a win today and a win next week away from a playoff berth in the NFC. Incredible stuff there. Seattle over the Jets 17-6. That's early in the third quarter. Raiders over the Niners 24-14, 8:30 to play in the third. Chargers over the Rams 17-10, early third quarter. Those are the late games. And then tonight, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Monday night, Buffalo, Cincinnati. Good slate of games coming up, and a good result today for the Jaguars. 31-3 over the Houston Texans.
If you're celebrating Victory Monday, and why wouldn't you, it's going to be a kind of a personal celebration tomorrow because no Jaguars today from 10 to noon. No, we got the holiday day off. I'm not taking the day off. I was made to take the day off, JP.
Okay.
I would have been there.
Well, you know who's going to be on the air tomorrow?
You.
Yeah, and Pete Prisco and Tony Baselli, 4 to 6 with Jaguars Happy Hour on 1010XL. We'll get their reaction from this game and the build-up leading into Week 18. Jags Drive Time tomorrow, 10 o'clock-ish on Jaguars.com as well.
I'll try to catch the 4 o'clock show if I'm up by then.
Oh, you're sleeping in? Or you're celebrating long tonight?
We'll find out, I guess. I had to work last night, had an early morning this morning, and, haven't had a New Year's celebration yet, so why not?
Cheers to you.
Likewise.
Good to see you. Thanks to our entire crew, David Cho, Linda Fortunato, Donna Murphy, Tony Smith. I'm J.P. Shadrick for Mike Dempsey, and the final score again for the final time. Jaguars 31, Texans 3. It all comes down to Week 18, the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The winner takes the AFC South. If it's a tie, it goes to the Jaguars, and this has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.